Hi everyone, welcome to today's session. My name is Liz and I'm one of Scoir's Regional Directors of College Partnerships. Today we're excited to share how we can help your recruiting and marketing teams attract, engage, and convert best fit students through the Scoir network. We will have someone monitoring the chat, so as you have questions, feel free to chat them in. Now let's kick it off with an agenda.
Today we'll cover why Scoir exists, who we help, why we're different, what we offer, and we'll reserve some time at the end for Q&A. Let's start with why Scoir exists. First, we believe that higher education is the gateway to greater opportunities for advancement, yet with 40% of high school grads not making it to college and over 30% of college undergrads not completing their degree, far too many students fail to realize those opportunities. And that's why we set out to build a college admissions network, a network that connects students to all of their supporters, high school counselors, parents, guardians, community-based organizations, and colleges, with the mission to expand access to higher education and improve outcomes. From our research, we know that students find the college search and application process to be a daunting one that lacks transparency and that makes it difficult to answer critical questions. Questions like, is college the right path for me? Can I get in? Will I fit in? And can I afford it? By injecting more transparency into the process and by making it easier for students to collaborate with those that can help on a common network, Scoir can help. And we recognize that your jobs are getting harder. I'm sure by now you've seen that with the changes coming to search, the volume of names available for search nationally will drop by nearly 40% by 2027. And the way that students want and need to engage with colleges is changing. In fact, a recent niche survey showed that amongst juniors, the acceptability of weekly emails has declined from 81 to 41% over the past 2 years. And while we know personalization is important, only 15% of these students say the information they're receiving from colleges is relevant and personalized to their interests. Furthermore, nearly a quarter of these students say that all colleges look and sound the same. Now, while Scoir might not be the singular solution, we can absolutely help and would welcome your feedback in the process as we continue to build ways for you to meet these students and their supporters where they are, with personalized, student-centered information on the network where college discovery, planning, and search happens. Now let's talk through who we help. We started with an engaging platform for the student and parent where they can search for colleges, plan with their supporters, and even apply to colleges all in one place. We believe in putting students first and establishing their trust is critical. So we've embraced student privacy from the beginning and protect a student's personally identifiable information while focusing on helping them answer those critical questions related to college fit and cost. But Scoir isn't just another college search platform. It's also the most affordable college guidance system used by nearly 10,000 high school counselors, and it's integrated into the tools high schools are using to support students as early as freshman year. High school counselors are coming to Scoir to schedule visits with colleges, collaborate and communicate with families through senior year when they're sending application-related documents, such as transcripts, to Scoir's over 1,700 connected colleges and counting. What does this mean for you? You can begin engaging with these students much earlier on, where they're engaged and returning at those critical points in their search process. And in support of our mission, we also discount our high school solutions equal to the percentage of students that are receiving free and reduced lunch. And this year, we were also thrilled to expand our platform to include community-based organizations. We're in the midst of a pilot collecting feedback from 40 of these organizations as we speak, and we'll be opening up our CBO platform more broadly in the coming months. Lastly, we have some exciting solutions for colleges and universities, which is what we'll spend most of our time discussing today. But before we do, let's take a closer look at some of the audiences using Scoir. First, we have a broad and diverse high school customer base with representation across nearly every U.S. state. 52% of all Scoir high schools are private and 48% are public. On the private high school side, nearly 70% of the top 1,000 best college prep private schools are on the platform. Across publics, over 50% of the top best college prep schools are using Scoir. We also have some of the largest school districts across the nation on the platform, and 34% of all Scoir students attend a Title I eligible school. Furthermore, of students who have reported demographic data, nearly 30% of all Scoir students are first generation, 40% are students of color, and 31% have family household incomes of less than $60K. And knowing serving and reaching these underrepresented populations are of critical importance to many of our partners, today we'll share how you can engage with these audiences through a personalized, student-centered approach. You can also see that we're generating growth amongst all audiences, which is important because our solutions not only enable you to connect with a student, but also their supporters and influencers, such as high school counselors and parents. And over the course of the most recent academic cycle, over 820,000 students were on the platform, with nearly 10,000 high school counselors and nearly 180,000 parents and guardians. But we know that there are many platforms out there, so what makes Scoir different? First, as a mission-driven platform focused on expanding access, I wanted to reiterate that Scoir discounts our high school solutions equal to the percentage of students receiving free and reduced lunch. So if a high school has 90% of its students receiving free and reduced lunch, that school will receive a 90% discount to use our software. This makes Scoir's platform affordable and accessible to all high schools. Furthermore, Scoir's platform is also free for CBOs. It's also important to note that while 80% of Scoir students use the platform with a high school, any student, and soon parents, can create a free Scoir account. And we'll be making some exciting changes this year that will make Scoir more accessible than ever. Scoir is also very student-centered. In a few moments, you'll gain a first-hand view of the student experience and see that we focused on building technology that's easy to use, looks and feels like social media, and that's very accessible through Scoir's mobile app. And to reiterate, we do not sell students' names and emails. Instead, we focused on building meaningful ways for colleges to connect with students. And because much of our student-parent data is coming from Scoir high schools, there's also an obligation for us to protect that data to our high school customers. Furthermore, we want to continue putting students first. We've seen that because students trust the platform, they're giving Scoir a wealth of information about their interests, goals, and circumstances, which power much of the personalization our college solutions provide and the data-driven insights we're able to provide our college partners. And we know that Scoir's student-centered approach is working. We recently completed a case study this past cycle, which we'd be happy to share as a follow-up. This analysis compared partner to non-partner outcomes, and we found that our partner colleges are receiving over 50% more applications. The students are being admitted at a 75% higher rate, and they're also enrolling at a 68% higher rate compared to our non-partner schools. And the vast majority of our partners' followers or interested Scoir students were not in their CRM. In fact, we completed an analysis that uncovered anywhere between 50 to 84% of our partners' interested Scoir students were not in their CRM and were not acquired through other sources, which reinforces that Scoir not only improves outcomes, but also helps our partner schools expand reach. Now let's talk through what we offer. Scoir provides 3 separate offerings for colleges. First, Scoir's Admissions Essential Solutions, which offers the ability for you to schedule in-person or virtual visits with any Scoir high school. Document Delivery Services, whereby your school can receive any application-related document via Scoir's manual or automatic delivery options. This includes an SFTP and Slate integration. And lastly, Profile Verification, which enables you to verify your profile for data accuracy. If you're interested in using Scoir for any of these options, we recommend that you request access through your Scoir admin or reach out to Scoir support at support@scoir.com for next steps. Second, as of this past academic cycle, any coalition member institution can receive applications from Scoir students. Our goal is to reduce barriers in the admissions process and free up time for students by bringing the application to students in a platform that they're already using with supporters as early as freshman year, and where they're already entering information that we can auto-populate into an application with ease. For more details, I'd encourage you to check out our website where we have additional information and overview videos available. Lastly, we offer advanced solutions for colleges, which includes a premium presence to help colleges diversify their reach and get in front of best fit students with content personalization as well as event promotion, student and parent guardian outreach that helps schools reach students outside of their noisy email inbox in Scoir and via Scoir's mobile push notifications, and an insights dashboard that enables schools to measure ROI and gain a deeper understanding of their audience with actionable learnings. We'll spend the remainder of our time today with a walkthrough of Scoir's advanced solutions, starting with the premium presence and how it works. So let's dive in. Premium presence at its core is what I like to call personalization at scale. So if 2 different students, like Mark and Sam, are viewing the same college within Scoir, they might see 2 very different things based on their own unique set of interests, goals, and circumstances. To help you visualize this, I'll start with a brief demo of the student experience so you understand how students are exploring colleges, and then I'll provide more specifics on how Scoir's premium presence would help your school expand reach and stand out. All right, so let's dive in. Scoir offers a variety of different search pathways where students can begin discovering colleges. They can start exploring 4-year schools, 2-year, international, or browse their matches based on a set of preferences, or they can jump right into their last advanced search where they can continue to refine the filters and criteria that might be important to them. Everything from degree type, school size, campus setting, location, perhaps school type, or perhaps things like personal interests and activities outside of the classroom that might help the student better understand fit. Everything from diversity to study abroad to volunteering programs. Now the student is ready to begin exploring their matches. Regardless of what search pathway the student is using, Scoir features all 4-year and 2-year institutions and features the search results in order of relevance and based on the number of preferences the school meets. Now, to help illustrate what Scoir's premium presence entails, I'll showcase the difference between a standard non-partner profile and a college taking advantage of Scoir's premium presence. Let's start with a standard non-partner profile. To begin exploring a school, a student can simply enter that school name within the search bar or click on that search result. You'll notice that we do have an integration with UVisits, so students don't have to leave Scoir to virtually tour a school, but if your school is not working with UVisit, we simply feature a header image here of your choice. The profile itself is broken out into a few different sections, starting with an overview page. You'll notice that the student immediately understands why they might be a fit for this school based on their search criteria, and we include a by the numbers overview. Now, the vast majority of the data on this profile is pulled in from iPads, but because there's a little bit of a lag with iPads, we'd much prefer to work with someone directly at the institution to verify this information. Upon verifying with you, we'd present your school with a verified badge so students, parents, and high school counselors can have confidence that the data they're seeing here has been verified with someone at your institution. We also include a location and transportation section, academics, where students can search for specific fields of study, admissions information, everything from admit rate to whether your school's test optional, cost and financial aid such as in-state, out-of-state tuition, and things like student life, where students can understand where students are coming from on your campus, how diverse your school is. So of course, information that's important, but likely a lot more that you'd want to communicate to students, parents, and high school counselors looking at your profile, especially if this is the first time a student's exploring. And that's where Scoir's premium presence comes in. So let's show you an example. With Scoir's premium presence, we repurpose the school's existing website content and bring it into Scoir with personalization, so students can find the most relevant information related to their interests and circumstances all in one place and right away. So again, if 2 students are looking at this profile, they might see 2 very different things. But before I walk through examples of this personalization, I'd like to call attention to a few things. First, this is the example of a verified badge that we discussed earlier. So if we're able to work with someone at your institution to verify your profile data, we'd place a verification badge on your profile, regardless of whether or not your school is participating in Scoir's premium presence. It's our goal to have every institution accurately represented on the Scoir platform. Next, you'll notice that we include things like highlights that are visible to students, parents, and counselors for colleges that are participating in Scoir's premium presence, along with things like featured posts. We're not only featuring existing website content, but we're also hyperlinking to the appropriate pages, while things like YouTube and Vimeo videos will also automatically render and play directly within Scoir. So no one's leaving the platform to view and engage with your rich video content. And for you, it's as simple as pasting a link and it will automatically render and play. There's also a section of your profile dedicated to helping you highlight any in-person or virtual events. This could be sessions related to specific majors or programs, or more evergreen content such as how to visit campus either in person or virtually. Perhaps you're driving to a page of your website that lists all of your events, or maybe you're driving directly to registration pages like you see in this example. And in just a few moments, I'll walk through our new event search experience, which provides added ways for us to help you drive visibility, engagement, and participation in your events. Next, let's walk through the academic section. You'll notice here, instead of just listing academic majors and programs, we've evolved this to become more of a social media, Instagram-esque experience where we're repurposing the school's existing website content, imagery, and bringing that into Scoir and creating more of a one-stop shop for the student. Because I'm logged in as a student who's interested in computer science, that's one of the first majors I'm learning about here. And I'm driven to the appropriate pages of their website where I can get all specifics about this major. Now, I'm sure you're wondering how this information is updated, who's responsible for updating, and so on. And I'm happy to report that when you sign on with a Scoir partnership, you would work directly with their customer success team, who are all former admissions professionals. And they give you a running start by taking on your profile build and initial content population for you. So they'll go as far as creating a content card for every single academic major and program and tagging it appropriately. So students with a television and film interest will immediately learn about your cinema and media arts program. And the great news is for you, it's super easy to update and maintain. For example, if you had wanted to swap in a new image or make an update and maybe reorder content, it's a simple drag and drop. And we've gotten a lot of great feedback on usability from our partners. And all of your updates would be made in real time. You'll also notice that this content is woven into the other profile sections, such as admissions information, where we're pulling information on how to meet your admissions team, or perhaps how you're supporting first generation students, along with things like cost and financial aid. And we're highlighting items related to affordability, perhaps what scholarship opportunities you have available. So students with those interests will immediately understand where to go to learn more information. Lastly, as students are trying to get a sense of what life is like outside of the classroom, they can explore student life clubs, activities, and programs. Because I'm logged in as a student interested in study abroad, music, and Greek life, those are the first items I'm going to learn about here, but I could keep scrolling through to see what other opportunities that this school offers. Lastly, I'll end with the fact that we see double the amount of engagement on school profiles that have this personalized content, which makes sense because we're just making it much easier for students to find the things that they care most about. As a result, we've decided to make this content work harder for our partners, and we brought it into other areas of the student experience to help our partners stand out, expand reach, and get in front of new best fit students. So as a next step, let's walk through Scoir's new content search experience. First, in our standard college search experience, where we feature all 4-year and 2-year schools, you may have noticed that our premium presence schools are differentiated with content from their profile. We're not only pulling in content that is relevant to a specific student's interests, like in this example, diversity and inclusion, but we're also pulling in the 5 highlights from their college overview page. We want to give students a reason to start exploring new schools. And because we have all of this rich college content in Scoir, we decided to launch a new search experience called Posts. Now, just like students can browse hashtag content on social media platforms, they can do the same with college content on Scoir related to their interests within this Posts experience. And this is unique to Scoir's premium presence partners. Hashtags related to students' interests will appear at the top. So if I'm, let's say, interested in browsing all college content about scholarships or perhaps study abroad, I can do just that. From here, students can click to expand specific pieces of content, watch the video, go to their website, or even follow and add a school to their list from this experience. Lastly, we know how much time, money, and energy your teams are dedicating to making events successful, which is why we want to do everything we can to drive added visibility and participation in your events with a new event search experience. So now, while events will be featured on your profile, they'll also be featured in this new event search experience. Here, students can browse all upcoming events, search for virtual events only, perhaps recurring events, or perhaps they're interested in just events hosted by their colleges of interest. There'll be more enhancements coming soon, but I'm also excited to announce that this event search experience, as well as this post experience, is also visible to high school counselors and parents. And in the future, we're hoping to launch the capability for high school counselors and parents to suggest specific pieces of content or even specific events to students that they think a student might be interested in. So more on this soon, but for now, this concludes Scoir's Premium Presence overview, and let's end this section with a quick recap of its benefits. First, colleges with a premium presence reach double the amount of students, and students are 87% more likely to engage with colleges that have a premium presence. They're also 144% more likely to click through and explore a school that have content cards from search. But I'll also note that bringing personalized content to search has not only led to more engagement for our college partners, but has also increased college search activity on Scoir overall by 200%. Last, but certainly not least, it's low lift. Our team of former admissions professionals pre-populates your premium presence so students can begin engaging with your personalized content right away. Now, I'm going to hand it over to my colleague Lauren, who will walk you through what happens when a student expresses interest in a school and what added opportunities exist for you to engage with these students and their parents. Lauren, over to you.
Thanks so much, Liz. My name is Lauren Inkudine, client partner working with schools in the Northeast and part of the West Coast. Thank you all so much for your time today. And now that we've reviewed premium presence with content personalization and event promotion, I'll take us through the additional components of our advanced college solutions, including outreach messaging and the Actionable Insights dashboard. In this next section, we'll discuss student and guardian outreach, starting with a student's perspective, and then I'll show you how outreach messaging works from the college's side. When a student decides they are interested in a college, they can add it to their My Colleges list. It's a collaborative process, so parents, students, counselors are working together to build a student's list. Students can inform supporters when they're planning to apply or when they've submitted their application, and counselors can then start preparing application-related documents ready for sending. Parents spend most of their time on Scoir searching and browsing colleges, and parents and counselors can suggest schools to their students, and we're finding that 43% of parent suggestions are accepted. Students are purposeful and have a high level of intent. Scoir students follow an average of 11 colleges and apply to 1 and 2 of those schools. This means you're connecting with a purposeful student audience outside of their email inbox where they're hearing from hundreds of schools, in a more intimate environment where it's easier to create meaningful connections, and where you'll likely see much higher engagement. Once a student adds a college to their list, partner colleges can communicate with students and parents as early as freshman year through Scoir messaging and mobile push notifications. Students receive messages in the form of direct messages, very similar to social media. So let's take a look now at the Students' Message Center. We'll discuss how messaging is managed from the college perspective in a moment, but first let's take a look at what students can see and interact with. Students can keep track of notifications like reminders of upcoming visits scheduled at my high school or direct messages from counselors or parents. But here we can see college outreach that looks and feels like social media from partner colleges that this student has followed. We're finding that students go back and revisit their college messages, so open and click rates tend to grow over time, unlike email where you really only have that limited window to capture a student's attention. Messages can be broadly targeted or hyper-personalized based on different student interests, and engagement on Scoir messaging exceeds traditional email benchmarks. For example, Scoir's automated messaging to new followers generates an average 62% open rate and nearly 10% click-through rate. On mobile, engagement is even higher at a 76% open rate. And 70% of Scoir's mobile app users have push notifications enabled, making it easier for you to reach students where they are. Keeping in line with our student-centered approach, we're eager to receive feedback to help inform strategy so students can share anonymous feedback on individual messages. At a time when we know students' receptivity to email is declining, on Scoir, we've seen the sentiment is overwhelmingly positive. Now let's take a look at how messaging is managed by colleges. As students are exploring and begin expressing interest, you can start engaging with those student and parent hand raisers outside of the noise of email. And students can have confidence that their PII is protected and that they'll only hear from the handful of colleges they've expressed interest in. Here we'll dive into the college's perspective of managing Scoir outreach messaging, and you can send your first message to your interested Scoir students in a matter of minutes. We'll start with automated messages, and automated is a nice set it and forget it option that allows you to configure messages in advance that will be triggered to send based on student actions. Let's say the first time a new student follows, says they're planning to apply or have applied. You can also configure these messages for linked parents, guardians as well. And amongst the partner colleges we've onboarded in 2023, between 35 to upwards of 62% of their senior followers had parents, guardians using Scoir that they could engage much earlier on in the process pre-application. What's more, parent information in most instances is being imported by high schools when they're implementing Scoir and is coming directly from student information systems in most cases. So we're finding there's a higher level of accuracy as opposed to what might be entered on an inquiry form, for example. There's no coding required, subject, body, formatting, and we always encourage including a link to a main call to action, for instance, driving to web, social, or encouraging students to complete an RFI form tagged for Scoir. For instance, tell us more about yourself, driving to a form, and that way you can capture information in your funnel. When a new student follows, the student and any linked parent guardian will receive mobile push and or email notifications, prompting them to log into Scoir to read and interact with your message. One-time messages offers the ability to engage with your interested Scoir audience on a more regular basis. However, I always like to preface that we're not trying to recreate the wheel or copy what you already have set up in your CRM. I would envision Scoir outreach as being a supplemental tool similar to how you may engage on social media platforms. You can certainly share trimmed down tactical information regarding deadlines or financial aid reminders, but it's also that opportunity in a social media-esque, quieter space to help students answer some of their key questions like, will I fit in? Can I see myself here? So do you have a game on TV this weekend, a new video tour of the dorms, or a recap of homecoming festivities, for example? This isn't a tool that you have to manage on a daily, weekly basis either. So in fact, 1 to 3 messages per month, 2 to 3 sentences long with a main call to action is a really nice cadence to engage your followers outside of email where they're only hearing from a handful of schools. These are one-way communications too, so you won't have to monitor student responses. And you can schedule these messages in advance to assist with planning. So for instance, in one sitting, tee up 2 short messages a month for the fall. What's more, there are different levels of segmentation to allow for enhanced personalization. You can segment by engagement stage or by particular class years, but perhaps you want to message by student interest, like share a travel snapshot or vlog for students interested in study abroad. If you have a STEM session coming up or want to raise awareness about a particular focus or program, you can message by academic focus. Message your followers in-state, out-of-state, or particular states to share scholarship information. And you can message your first-generation students specifically to share resources, success stories, or maybe information sessions with your first-gen audience and their parents, guardians, supporters. We take a consultative approach and are definitely here to help our partners along the way. So every college partner using Scoir's advanced college solutions has a dedicated customer success manager who comes from the world of admissions and marcoms, who will check in regularly with resources, best practices, and your team will have an opportunity to schedule a messaging consultation for additional support and inspiration at any time. And if bandwidth is a concern, we do offer an optional additional messaging kickstart program where our team of former admissions professionals can help establish the foundation of your Scoir messaging. And lastly, we've built a CRM match integration with Slate that will be released in the very near future. This will allow Slate colleges to sync your CRM with Scoir's database of your interested students, identifying those that match in your CRM and those following you that are not yet in your CRM, i.e. your interested stealth students on Scoir, all without exchanging student PII. But with the CRM match functionality, it will also expose Scoir as a new engagement channel within your CRM, meaning you can use Slate to send messages to your interested students, both those in your CRM and those not yet in your funnel, and you'll definitely hear more about this soon. To recap, feedback from students is showing that the sentiment for Scoir messaging is overwhelmingly positive. Of students who've provided feedback on partner messages, 96% have responded positively with a thumbs up. And in summary, there are several benefits to Scoir messaging. You're meeting students where they are, outside of their crowded email inbox where they're only hearing from colleges they've expressed interest in. 70% of Scoir mobile app users have push notifications enabled, and you can engage parents and guardians earlier on in the process. You can customize your outreach with segmentation by interest, academic focus, first-gen status, and more.
We're seeing that the student-centered approach is working, so students who engage with partner messages yield at a 12% higher rate than average and are 3 times more likely to apply. And it's likely that at least 50% of your interested Scoir audience are stealth, students that you might not be reaching elsewhere. Now we'll tee up the final component of our advanced college solutions, the Insights dashboard. We talked about having a premium presence with content, personalization, and event promotion, and outreach messaging to your followers and families at scale. And we have a wealth of data and information in Scoir and are making these insights more accessible, digestible, and actionable via the Enhanced Insights dashboard. Here we're looking at insights for a fake demo account for Syracuse University. We've segmented these insights into a few different sections, starting with interested students at the top. So in this case, the 14,000 plus that have this college in their My Colleges list, either following, applying, or applied. We can track audience growth on a month-by-month basis, or maybe focus on a particular class year. And then we've also brought in some conversion insights. So as we start diving into the fall in progress class of 2024 insights, as well as projections, or looking back at previous class years and the self-reported insights from students and or counselors, so you can measure growth, admit yield rates, and enrollment information along the way. We have aggregate insights into your interested audience with a parent guardian that you could message, those attending Untitled I, those that have indicated their first generation, and then some actionable insights too. So here we can quickly identify of your interested Scoir audience. They have a lot of interest in scholarships, internships, dorms, but also, top academic focuses of your followers, so that your teams could quickly identify, hey, there's an opportunity to message these students personalized based on their academic focus about an upcoming session we have coming up in 2 weeks. The interactive map is really helpful too, so you can explore interest by state from an executive level. Are there new places we can look to recruit from? But at the same time, your individual recruitment teams can also come in, pick a particular state like Jersey for this example. And what we'll do is list out the high schools, Scoir schools where you have the most interest. We'll always indicate whether or not these schools are Title I eligible, and then you have those actions to quickly schedule a visit, maybe just message your followers at this high school to share scholarship information, or a counselor on the team to help get something on the books. Once a visit is scheduled, these 128 followers would receive push and or email notifications prompting them to log in to their Scoir account to register for the upcoming visit. The next section we identify as reach. So in this case, this is the 68,000 plus individual students that have seen My Colleges information throughout Scoir, but haven't yet taken that next step to follow. Track reach growth over time, as well as impressions. So in this case, the 500,000 plus unique instances that My School's information was seen by Scoir students throughout, that reach breakdown by class year. But again, more of those knob styles to better impact reach, where of your reached audience, we can see their top interests, academic focus. Make sure that we have that content created to help enhance that personalization and ideally convert more of that reached audience to follow. But maybe there are some cool insights to glean for all Scoir students, or perhaps most importantly, what about the students that I'm not reaching at all yet, those that are not finding my information in Scoir at this time? So of course, we'll create most of the content for premium presence on your behalf, but more of those knob styles where you can take action, identify where you might have some gaps, and create some more content. So content is as easy as copy paste an image from web or social, title, copy paste some content, maybe links to web, or do you have a YouTube video related to career development? This will automatically be tagged, but again, you're repurposing that content, only takes a couple of minutes, publish when you're ready, and now that's information that can help expand reach by getting that relevant personalized content in front of a wider best fit audience. And last but not least, we have some competitive insights at the bottom, normalized by schools similar in size or default ranking where you have the most overlap in mutual followers. If you are interested in exploring the Insights dashboard, you should in a moment see a pop-up on the screen where you can request a consultation, and we could certainly enable trial access for your teams as you're considering a potential partnership with Scoir. To summarize the benefits of the Insights dashboard, you can identify new geographic opportunities and strategically schedule visits based on location, high schools with the most interest, and Title I designation. Spot new opportunities to engage your reached and not yet reached audience on Scoir, and see conversion insights to measure growth and assess projections for the year ahead. To recap today's conversation, we talked about reaching Scoir students and their supporters to build relationships as early as freshman year. There's a strong likelihood that at least 50% of your current interested audience on Scoir are stealth students. Scoir students are purposeful and have a strong likelihood to convert to apply, usually to 1 and 2 of the colleges that they're following. We're working with college partners to reimagine enrollment marketing in a student-centered environment, and partners using Scoir's advanced college solutions are seeing growth in reach, engagement, and conversion. For instance, partners with premium presence reach 2 times more students, and followers who receive outreach messages are 3 times more likely to submit an application. So we will wrap up here with pricing, which is also available online in our efforts to be as transparent as possible. But we offer different packages too for flexibility. So for instance, you could bundle the solutions, save 10%, but get access to all of the advanced solutions that we reviewed today, from premium presence and event promotion, outreach messaging, and the Insights dashboard. Or perhaps you wanted to get started with just premium presence if you're mainly focused on expanding reach and top of funnel expansion, or again, just outreach messaging to start if you want to spend more time focused on improving yield and parent engagement, let's say. But additionally, we offer built-in discounts to make it fair and equitable for schools of all sizes. So discounts that are based on, number one, size of school in terms of full-time, first-time freshman enrollment numbers, and percent Pell Grants awarded in alignment with our mission. Again, you can calculate your discounted cost right on our website, or we encourage you to schedule a consultation online. Link is included on this slide, for example, but that would be an opportunity for myself or Liz, let's say, to walk your team through Scoir's advanced college solutions, but also during our time together, take a deeper dive into your school's data insights to show you how students are engaging today, audience growth over time, a closer look at your conversion insights. And we could also enable trial access to your Insights dashboard for your team to explore as they're considering a potential partnership too. Alternatively, if you have seen enough, you're ready to get started after today's presentation, we encourage you can sign up online. Again, link is included here, but this will enable us to generate an order form for review. We start contracts on the 1st of the month, so leading up to your start date, we'll assist with the procurement process, start building out your profile content, and then get you introduced to your dedicated customer success manager to schedule onboarding. But we'll be sure to follow up with a recording of today's webinar as well. And at this time, I think we're ready to open it up for any outstanding questions that we can answer via the chat. And I'll just leave it with thank you so much for your time today. We really appreciate it and hope to be able to continue conversations with you shortly. Thank you.